When you grow up in the ghetto like me, you come across a whole lot of things. Gangbangers, preachers, and crackheads. And I want to talk about one in particular, a guy named Earl, who happened to be a crackhead and homeless. And there's a good correlation between drug users and people who are being homeless. And when you look at him as a kid and you see homeless folks like him, you think like, oh, they're lazy, they're dusty, you know, as if they've been homeless all their life. But somebody told me Earl's story. Earl was not just a homeless crackhead. That's who he is now. But before, Earl was the best point guard in the city of Sacramento in 1981. And you would know that because sometimes he'll ask for the ball when we out there shoot. Hey, let me see that ball, young blood. And he get the ball and he be doing, jumper was still wet. He go on about his business smoking crack. Now I got some stories where he just came down the street running hella fast. I don't know what he was doing. But you see a glimpse of what he used to be. You can tell that he was somebody, but you don't really think about it. But just a few minutes ago, I saw this video about the homelessness that's in California. And the key story was a brother by the name of Sean. And Sean is homeless. No big deal, right? Until you find out that Sean was a Yale-educated economist. Very successful business owner. Graduated top of his class in high school. Was on Wall Street. Had a very successful business. But now he's 52 years old, living in Skid Row, and homeless. People can't even fathom that. How can you be an Ivy League graduate in economics and homeless? Can't find a job with this skill and homeless. But that's not the only brother. I've seen brothers, PhDs in physics from Stanford, homeless. But it isn't so much so that things go bad and they lose it all and lose money. But more so that something happens in their life that they can't recover from. And in Sean's case, he could never get over the loss of losing his mother, which sent him into a spiraling decline. And now he's a meth addict living on the streets of Los Angeles. But I'm talking about this because I want to bring this video into more of a greater dialogue between you and between me and you, the subscriber. America's talented homeless black men. This is interesting. We got to talk about this because I'm not the first to bring this up. Mr. Research talked about it before, but I'm just adding on to it. We all know about the brothers who are in jail that we lose for whatever reason from bad decisions and stuff, and we discount them for their talent. But what about the homeless brothers you walk by every day that are geniuses? And from whatever reason, they're now homeless. And we don't sit to think about these guys have a story. They weren't born like that, but they got like that right now. Now let me talk about this for a guy like Sean with a great degree and a great skill set. America loses out on his talent and his intellect because he still finds a way to go to the library and use that genius IQ. But not only does America lose out, we as brothers lose out. Because again, here we have our best and brightest people living on Skid Row. Imagine you have to sleep at night and guard your things, and you homeless and people come and steal your stuff. This is what this man has been reduced to. A bum. Now, I kind of want to go to this, man, because a lot of times we think that smart people have it all figured out. in this case, they don't. Intelligence doesn't mean that you are mentally strong. Okay? The people who fall the hardest are those who intellectually things come the easiest. They don't understand how to deal with certain situations. They don't know how to deal with certain aspects of hard knocks and situations like that. They might not be well equipped. But this is my position to you. What can black men do? Theoretically, at some point, I know nobody wants to be dealing with homeless people. I know people don't want to be dealing with people that are in jail or coming out of prison. But think about the talent that we are losing in our communities right there on Skid Row. Brothers with physics degrees, brothers with law degrees, brothers with entrepreneurial spirits, homeless and destitute. And it just goes to show you that anybody can be a victim of the system, especially in liberal states like California. You think about some place like California, where 25% of homeless people live in this state. 25%. If you go to LA. And it's known this for years. It's been known for this years. You see guys packed on top of each other in Koreatown, in those areas. Homeless and destitute. And not to be political in this, but I got to be this. The left has done a number in California on some of its best people. And you know what? And I'm a California native. I'll never permanently reside in the state if I have a chance. Because how do you let some of your brightest people, I'm talking about America as a whole, become homeless? Now, obviously, they pay parts in it as well, and this is what I want to talk about to you, brothers. If our black male communities were more tightened up, when we have a brother that's out there like that, and I'm bringing it home now, this is the core of the message, he should be able theoretically to reach out to his own people and get help. Because if it's somebody that we need to help, it's him. Someone like him. You see, and this is the dangers of not having networks, because I will tell you this. We need smart people, right? People who are talented. We need people who are thinkers in black male communities. We need think tanks. We need people to know what they're doing. So when our best and brightest people are falling down, they should be able to call somebody and say, hey, man, I need some help. But when you don't have that black male community forum, we lose out. Because now we got a brother begging for some change, possibly struck out on drugs, than a brother that could be able to say, man, I know you're going through something. We want to support you through a tough time. And I want to make another video about this today. A lot of times, some black men just need somebody to talk to. Right? This is something that's important, man. Brothers go through certain things. Lose their mom, lose their family, lose their sister, lose their kids. And a lot of brothers suffer through depression. It's a dog-eat-dog world in corporate America, right? It's a dog-eat-dog world in business. And when you lose everything, and if you don't have a lot of black male friends and you're competing in non-black spaces, and you don't have brothers that can bring you into that stuff, or counsel you and tell you things are going to be all right, sometimes that's all a brother really needs. It's not always monetary. It's support, and I'm going to do a separate video on that. But we need to really understand that we lose out the most when we have our best and brightest people on Skid Row. We lose out the most when the brothers are in prison. And America loses. But like you say, or they say, when white America sniffles, black America get the flu. And if black America get the flu, the black men damn near get full AIDS. Right? So we can't afford to take those hits. especially when we have talented people. So one thing I want to say this: when you see a homeless brother next time, and he's out in the street, he might be asking for a quarter or a dollar. I'm not telling you what to do, but I will say, think of who that brother used to be. That brother ain't always been like that, okay? That brother could have been a lawyer. That brother could have been a doctor. You don't know what that brother been through in his life. And you have many talented black men out there in America that have been through something, and for whatever reason, they're there now. And because they're there, we are losing. America's losing. But black men lose, and we take the hardest loss. We don't even think about it like that. But that's all I got to say, brothers. Make sure you subscribe, hit the bell. Check out the CNN video on this. Pin to the top of the comment. Let me know what you think. Go ahead and read that or watch that video. And you'd be surprised, man, how the brother's life turned upside down. And as you know, the buffoonery remains at an all-time high. I'm out.